Hello, beloved. I am Bishop Andy C. Luter, and I'm delighted to come with you with another installment in my series on church leadership. I've explained repeatedly that this series is designed for persons who are involved in or are training for positions of leadership in the local Christian church. I've taken a goodly amount of time to prepare this material specifically for deacons, deaconesses, ministry leaders, auxiliary leaders, trustees, stewards, or any other persons who plans to be involved in church leadership. Friends, this lecture will conclude with questions at its end that will help you to fully prepare for a church review if that is the custom and culture of your congregation and church. It is our hope and prayer that this material will be a benefit to you and that it will help you to be more effective in whatever position that the Lord has called you to. So, friends, let's get started with this lesson, which is entitled The Apocrypha, Part 2. While a good part of the Apocrypha deals with the Maccabean revolt, there are several other books in this listing that reflects some of the more storied portions of the Old Testament. The Apocrypha also includes books that are entitled Esdras, which is a continuation of the narrative concerning Ezra found in the Old Testament. According to the Apocrypha, Esdras is a scribe who was responsible for writing and maintaining the ancient laws of the Jewish people. The Apocrypha suggests that Esdras was specifically called by God to restore the scriptures to the people. Now, friends, it should be remembered that this Esdras or Ezra lives and operates during the restoration of Jerusalem at the time of Nehemiah, following the Babylonian captivity. It is generally believed that Esdras and Nehemiah worked together, with one concentrating on the rebuilding of the physical city of the Jews, while the other focused upon the rebuilding of the religion of the people. Friends, another book found in the Apocrypha is that of Bel and the Dragon. This book deals with the familiar figure of Daniel from the Old Testament. In this book, Bel is a deity of Persia, and the book is an extension of the narrative that we find in the book of Daniel. In the book Bel and the Dragon, food for the gods is placed upon the floor, and it is Daniel who spreads ashes on the floor of the temple. Now, unfortunately, time nor space allows us to fully examine all of the material that appears in the remainder of the Apocrypha, but it is worthy to note the following. Judith. Judith is a spy that enters the Assyrian camp. Then there is the figure Baruch. Baruch is a secretary to the prophet Jeremiah that is exiled in Babylon. And then we have Simon the high priest. Simon is a high priest in the last part of the book of Ecclesiasticus. Now, as mentioned before, the Roman Catholic Church and the Coptic Church, also known as the African Orthodox Church, both include the Apocrypha in their canon of the Holy Bible. However, the Protestant Church, whose Bible is based upon the translation of Martin Luther, challenged the authority of the Apocrypha and consequently did not include it in the canon of the Protestant Bible like the King James Version. This opposition to the authority of the Apocrypha took place in the 16th century, right in the midst of the Protestant Reformation. Now, friends, like in the first part of this lesson, here are a few questions that will examine your retention and comprehension of this material. Okay, let's tackle these study questions. Number one, what is the name of the books that tell the story of the man that we identify as Ezra in the pages of the Old Testament? Number two, what title did this figure Ezra hold, and what did God call him to do? Next question. Another book in the Apocrypha is Bel and the Who. Another question. Who was the secretary to the prophet Jeremiah in the books of the Apocrypha? Question. In what century did the Protestant Church challenge the authority of the Apocrypha? Listen, friends, I am Bishop Andy C. Luter, and I want to thank you for sharing these last several minutes with me. I again pray that it has been helpful, and I so look forward to sharing with you in another section on this curriculum on church leadership. Remember, beloved, God loves you, and so do I.